It is exactly 9:04 News and Views on Salam Media. Welcome, and we are now going to be talking with Macqueen Letsoha-Mathaee, the Premier of the Free State, and we're going to be talking about the Matric results. Very good morning to you, Macqueen. Welcome to the program. Premier, are you there? Good morning.
Good morning, Julia.
I love. Congratulations. It's the 8th year in a row that the Free State has been leading with the Matric results, and you must be absolutely thrilled about it.
We're just over the moon because remember the Free State performance history can be traced as far as 2011, where we were at about 75, I think 75.8%. But since then, our performance has been gradually improving, and we have held on to the position one, like you're saying, for 8 years now. And we are delighted that there is a huge pass rate improvement of no-fee schools or even those schools that are in quintile. So we are just excited today.
So, Premier, what do you attribute the success of the Free State's excellent Matric results? But I should imagine that also goes back...
Yeah, you're a bit far. I can't hear you.
Okay, I guess the question then to be asked as well is, how about early childhood development? Perhaps that's where you guys are getting it right, that going right back to ECD level, you've got everything in place so that you have the type of results that we're looking at right now regarding Matric. Premier, are you there?
Yeah.
Premier?
What's the question once again?
People wonder, what is it that you are doing right in the Free State that you have such excellent results for 8 years in a row?
You know, let me say this first, Julia. One thing that we must also acknowledge is the demonstration. This is just a demonstration of the effectiveness of ANC policies, especially on social transformation. Because really, we've been doing this. We got camps. We've been visiting schools, especially the 7th administration. From last year, we started visiting schools. Even identifying learners that we think have challenges. The background of some of the learners, which is also key because it's one of the contributory factors to the learning and teaching of a learner. You know, we must the background of families, and in this we must really applaud our teachers because they are the ones who first see these challenges. But as we're visiting schools, even when I visited the matriculants, there were those schools that really had challenges where teachers would say to me, Premier, would like to have camps. But the problem is that these learners are coming from very disadvantaged families. And it's going to be very difficult for us to ask parents to assist us to have this camp at school. And that's where we intervene. That's where we also, where as a Premier, I engaged some business people to say we cannot lose position one once more, and especially when we think of our late MEC. So there were some business partners who came on board, who donated food to staff, who donated toiletries. Because some of those learners will say, even if I'm here at school, I don't know what's happening at my house. What are they eating and so on. So if they had to that little grant and give me something to eat at the camp. So we intervene at some of the camps that we had. I can just mention 2 of the schools where I personally went and meet the teachers and the learners. It's Bergman, Grassland High School here in Mangaung, in Bloemfontein. They said, you know what, after this intervention, we are promising you 85 plus percentage. And indeed, from 75, I think, they made it. Read us back. They said to me, Premier, after this intervention, these learners are going to have energy. We are promising you 87%. And they got it. So I'm really excited. But mostly we got the very committed district directors. That's one I must not leave out. We got very, very dedicated district directors who worked with our teachers. Those teachers who compromise their families to stay with these learners in making sure that these learners achieve what they have achieved today. And we are very, very thankful of that. We must not even forget that we also have prayers in districts where we invite the churches to engage, just to spiritually motivate these learners. And this is really also working as we're now preparing to go back with the same prayers and say, how do we open at the doors of learning this year? When we receive this new one, can we start with prayers and so? So we did everything that was really in our power to make sure that these learners perform what they're performing in the legacy of our late MEC that they came to Marco. And if you can look at the results themselves, previously they used to at least announce the 10 top districts. But if you can check now, the very same Free State, it has 4 districts out of the 10, the top 10 in the county. So we are there, and there's a lot of improvement, and I'm very, very excited about this improvement.
Congratulations once again. Let's look at the issue going forward regarding these learners that have done exceptionally well, not only in the Free State, but right across the country. We have an amazing Matric result of pass rate of 87.3%. The big question now is how many of these excellent pass rate pupils will be able to get into tertiary, and will they get the necessary support, because we don't want them to be a dropout figure going forward in a year or two's time.
Okay, thank you, Julia. If you can trace some of the social media platforms, I've already issued out the circular that invites applications. Remember, sometimes we do have this top 100 where people think that this one's going to get assistance. But you find that the very same top 100, they are coming from families that can afford. So as the province, we once agreed that there is no way to assist families that already have a capacity to educate their learners. So we are going to identify all these learners that really need help. But as I'm saying, we've already advertised for our salary that we are going to use it. And we're encouraging our learners to start applying. But what we also did with the MEC as we're traveling to Bloemfontein today was that we really need to target these schools in this disadvantaged community, because that's where we go to think that after Matric we are done, we have courage, and like I said, the social skills and so on. So we really need to call meetings of all these matriculants who made us proud in this province, and check where are the challenges, where the government can intervene. So we're going to make sure that we don't have dropouts, but we have learners that are going to go to tertiary. As you can see that yesterday, the minister was there ready to receive some of them, but we know that because of financial and the issues of administration, but we believe the woman who's been put there now by the president is going to make sure that she unlocks all these challenges that, we are normally facing. These frustrations, because some of these learners are getting frustrated by the processes. So we really need to go back to them and motivate them to come to NSFAS, to come to our provincial government, as we have already advertised. They must apply so that we can be able to assist them.
And rightly so. And Premier, my question was actually directed at the learners that come from disadvantaged backgrounds. We can't afford to lose them. And we as, collectively need to ensure that they get into tertiary or, TFET colleges or wherever it is that they have their eyes on. And we need to ensure that they do make it through and they don't end up being a dropout statistic. Having said that, let's look at the teachers that have made all of this possible. How is it that we continue motivating them to go the extra mile? Because it must take a lot out of their own lives as well, for them to be assisting their learners to truly get to the top of their game.
You are so right. Julia. Especially on this disadvantage. But when you look at the results yesterday, I'm sure you have seen the top achievers nationwide and the very same learners that are coming from our localities. And really, it makes us so proud that, because people used to think that those learners will be coming from the schools that you cannot even name around town. So that people come from Gauteng look for a school in Bloemfontein, so they believe that school is so good. But look at the top that yesterday that came out of this top achievers. It is the very same, but it's out of the dedication of the teachers, like you were saying, and we are not going to stop encouraging them because we have sessions with them, and there are also these awards that we normally have where we encourage teachers to get into that space of making sure that they even compete. You know, where there's competition, there's always courage, and we believe in that as well. So it's part of what we're doing as government in making sure that we do have these teachers and the passion that they have. Because really, to be a teacher, our belief is that it's a calling. One has to have passion. Because if they didn't have, we wouldn't even find out about some of the challenges that learners we have. I've got one area here in the Free State that is called Petrusberg. That Petrusberg is a very, very problematic area in of the behavior of the community, the abuse of alcohol and so on. But the teachers, they were able to invite me and we sat down with them and we committed in that meeting that we are going to, they could even identify some of the learners who were abused from families, who were abused by attendants, who were abused by somebody that they did not even know because they know these learners better than the parents. They see the behavior of these learners and those behaviors talks to them. And then they just said, we need the intervention of the Premier as the head of this government. And indeed, I committed and we adopted. And also, as MECs, we got also from national, we got what you call district development model champions. We are being encouraged by President as well to utilize this meaningful. And we also have our own champions who work with this. I can assure you that we are not going to just hold our heads. We really need to motivate these teachers, and it will just be an ongoing process that we have as government here in the city.
Well, once again, my congratulations, and I'm so pleased that you spoke about the challenges as well, because we do know that we see huge challenges in our schools. Despite the challenges of teen pregnancies, abuse of all sorts, in certain instances as well, we do know that teachers are abusing the learners sexually and otherwise, and vice versa, where learners are abusing teachers. But despite all of those challenges, which you are very aware of, and I have no doubt in my mind that you and your team are applying your minds to overcome all of those challenges so as not to rob our children of a very, very bright future going ahead. So congratulations to you. I'll give you a minute to wrap up and summarize and your last words regarding the Matrics of 2024 and particularly the Free State Province, which stands at a pass rate of 91%.
Thank you very much, and I must emphasize that the vision of the late MEC Macqueen really is continuing to bear fruit for us in the province. And one other issue that I did not touch on when you ask about what is that we are going to do in making sure that we don't have dropouts. Recently, we had a challenge where one of the TVET was trying to move from the area called Coffee Fontaine in the Cape. It's one of these poor areas in one of the poorest districts in our province, where they had challenges of they believe that there was contaminated water because of the mine, because of where the college is situated. Immediately I saw that on the social media. I convened a meeting of the councillors and the Tibet College itself. As I'm speaking, Julia, as I'm speaking to you now, you can interview anyone in Coffee Fontaine. I'm starting to receive the pastors sending messages of appreciation. We make sure within a day that that college goes back there because in terms of even economic growth, it's contributing. We have to have learners that are residing in those areas. So we managed to take back that college as I'm speaking to. We brought the mine on board. The mine said, no, in terms of student accommodation, we can even use some of the hostels that we used to have here, the quarters that we used to have here. So it shows the commitment that we have as this provincial government. As I'm speaking to you, the learners who are taken to Bloemfontein are going back to Bloemfontein. The municipality came on board. They are supplying water. They even connected water because the pipe that was connected there was not the right pipe. They are assisting a lot. So that's how we show our dedication to this. And we really dedicate this good performance to our educators, learners, and parents, Julia. We also send our gratitude to our communities that demonstrated that education is a societal issue by being part of one of our structures that contributes to education that we call quality learning and teaching campaign. So we dedicate this result to one of our own, really, and that they might pass on. And our MEC, the current one, Dr. Mabuya, for improved education in our province. I therefore congratulate all those stakeholders, even the business people that came on board and making sure that we assist these learners to make it to where we are today. And last year we've adopted a motto that says simply excellent. And through this motto, we committed that meaning we'll hit them hard until they get used to it, Julia. And later today we'll be announcing the results in our province of performance of all the districts and best performing schools. So I would like really to conclude our interview by saying, by quoting one of the quote that I like, of Emina Zola, when he said, "We are like books. Most people only see our cover. The minority read only the introduction. Many people believe in critics. Few will know our content, our content." Thank you very much.
Before you go, Premier, one very, very important question I need to put to you, and I think you will also identify with it, and I'm sure you're so passionate about our learners and their amazing outcomes, but post-matric, post-university, or whichever route they decide to take, we are still sitting with another huge problem in the country, and that's the unemployment rate. And I'm kind of wondering, as Premier of the Free State, do you have any ideas about how we can tackle that situation so that these amazing young people that have done exceptionally well don't become disillusioned and pass down that disillusionment to other learners and in other spheres of society? That is a huge problem, and I'm wondering, how do we go forward to start, thinking about how we can assist all unemployed graduates and young people that haven't even managed to get a matric pass but are unemployed at the moment?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. The issue of unemployment indeed is a challenge. And let me just speak on behalf of the province that indeed there are measures that we have started to put in place in making sure that when these learners go to this university, when they come there, they shouldn't just be job seekers. Some of them should be able to assist us to create jobs in our province. For instance, when you look at the TVET colleges as well, they have these incubators where they put learners there. The one that we have here, we've got designers. Now, when we go to these activities, sometimes you see me wearing overalls. These are designed by the TVET college students here, just to make sure that when they leave the TVET college, they're able to create jobs themselves. We still have challenges in areas like your Thabo Mfutanyana, the Xhosa area. I met Minister Ramokgopa. Very soon we will be visiting that area, because as we try to invite investors, we still have challenges of electricity and water in that area. Once we can address those two issues in that area, we'll be able, through our government, our provincial government, we'll be able to really invite investors. We are meeting, we met with Chinese government, we met with Indian government, the ambassadors that are placed here that are given this provinces. So we agree that there are two issues that we need to really address in areas like and that is, and that's where we have a lot of our population just to use in that area. Once we can get right those two issues, soon we'll be visiting the area myself, and the cabinet and the Ramokopa and Lepeni market. Once we can address those issues, I can tell that we'll be able to open the factories because we do have infrastructure in other areas. Ours is just to make sure that we address those challenges and open up for people who like to really have their own businesses. Agriculture, we are one of the provinces that dominate in agriculture. Now, we also at the NEC is very passionate in making sure that we develop this young person. We've got one young person in the area of Harrismith who owns hectares and hectares of farms. We are also in that space of making sure that we are going to encourage those who take this road of agriculture to come back as well so that we assist them as government. We are very, very positive that some of the challenges that have been contributing to this unemployment, they are going to be addressed by this seventh administration. I think.
Premier Macqueen Letsoha-Mathaee from the Free State, thank you indeed for your input and your valuable time this morning. Once again, congratulations on a great achievement with the Matrics and your vision going forward for the province of the Free State. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Right.
9:25 News and Views moving along. Our next guest is Dr. Yvonne Ridley. She's based in the UK, and we are going to be talking about hopefully, the release of Dr. Avia Siddiqui. So do stay with us. Ad breaks and lots more coming up.